Hi, everybody, and welcome to Sunburst Reacts, where today I want to go over a comment that was left on my last Emily video that I did, and it was about a rumor that had been circulated or talked about on the reaction channel Oh Lordy, It's Jordy during one of his lives, and it was a theory about Rarity and her like what potentially happened. So I want to give my perspective as someone who's from the area. I did reach out to some friends as well to look into the story, see if there were things that were common that lined up or not. So with that, let's get into it. But first things first, just a reminder, everything that I'm discussing here are my own personal thoughts, opinions. What I'm discussing is also is like public information that people publicly posted. So I'm not discussing anything like private or anything. Whoever I'm discussing, please don't go sending negative, disparaging, any types of comments to them of the people that we are discussing. That's not okay. So with that, I'm going to bring up the comment that was left on my video that someone asked for my opinion on. I did respond to them in the comment, but I did get some more information and I kind of just wanted to talk about it. So let's take a look, shall we? All right, so I might have to move me over just a slight bit, and then once we get over it, you can see my full face again. So last night, Jordy shared on his live stream that someone who lives around the area that Emily lives in claimed that a neighbor, a man, trapped Rarity and then released her behind a hospital into a wooded area. So he brought up that this might be a credible source just due to that property layout that Jordy didn't share publicly. I mean, it could just be gossip and the different things, but we just like to know kind of like a little bit more about the area, things that go on, and the such. So I'm going to move me back over. So a little bit about the area. So when I read this comment initially, I was like, what? So just to give a little bit of context. So the area that this is occurring in, it is common to trap, even in smaller, well, like whether you're in a small town out in the middle of the country, this area is actually known is like traps are pretty normal when it comes to when like a lot of people trap for like small game, raccoons. Sometimes they'll trap for just small critters, small varmints in the area. Raccoon are typically the biggest ones that people are trapping for, and then depending on the size of the traps that they're using, it could be used for cats as well. I know my family has trapped animals before. We'll take them and then we'll put them down in like a more secluded area. Like we're way out in the country, but it's also very common in like smaller communities or towns as well. So I'm not really shocked by the trapping like thing at all. I will then go into the hospital. Like apparently they said that this person like released the cat then behind the hospital into a wooded area. So I talked to some friends from the area and they said that's not common at all. And that if you trapped a cat, due to just the where the alleged trapping occurred, there's actually quite a few humane societies and animal shelters in that area. So they found it quite odd that someone would just take the cat that they just trapped and then take it to the hospital of all places and release it into the wooded area behind there. They just found that quite odd because that's not like a common area where animals, if they do get dumped, that's where they would be dumped. Just giving some extra context to it. It's not normal, nor is it something that's common. So I will say too, knowing the types of communities and with all the alleged like posters that were put up at this time and they were out in the community, they're out with their neighbors, I would find it really hard, especially since a lot of people in that area are like, they're going to help out their neighbors. They're going to help out their community. And if they see posters, they're probably going to call the number if they've trapped a cat. They're probably going to call the number that they see. It's like, oh, we got this cat. Oh, I'm just going to call the number that I've been seeing on the poster that my wife told me about or something, and then do it. Like, that's pretty common. Like, a lot of neighbors, they're going to be helpful and put things out. Also, if someone's trapping I'm not shocked either that someone would maybe try and put a trap out for Rarity, because that's actually another common tactic too in the area, especially if they have trapping. Like, there's a lot of hunters in that area. It's a very hunting forward community. Especially with all the surrounding farm fields, hunting area as well. So not shocked that they would be like, oh yeah, we can put out like a trap and see if we can catch the cat. Like, that seems pretty normal to me. Like, that's not out of the possibility. The other thing here too that I wanted to put out there. So I will say that the story to me seems kind of, do I think it's likely? No, just due to my experience with people in that area. However, I do see it as a potential story that could have happened. And the reason why I say that is, depending on the neighbor, depending on this guy that's being alleged in this comment, there can be some grumpy people who are just kind of mean, who can be downright jerks. And they could do something like that. Do I expect that? No, but it is something possibly. There are some people who are angry and mean and who are just jerks, and they don't like cats. They just don't. I don't know why. Cats are kind of like known to be like, they keep the mice out of properties. So like, if you got cats around, or if you got a cat outside, you're probably a lot of people actually feed them. So then they try and keep them around, because then they'll take care of the mice in the area, and then the mice don't get into people's homes. Like, that's another really common thing too. So I'm just looking at this, and it's something that could have happened, but I don't see it being plausible. Again, because like, the hospital is not a known area to be like, oh, I'm just gonna go dump a cat in the wooded area behind there. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And then going back to Jordy lends credibility to the story by describing intimate details of Emily's property layout, so that Jordy didn't share publicly. I mean, I don't know why people would need to have Jordy share it publicly. There are forums and places where the property has been discussed and told to people. And I don't know why people need to say Jordy was the one who put it out there for this to be true, when there's multiple different forums that have told, and it's pretty easy to type in an address, look onto Google Maps, and kind of look at the area. Google Earth as well. So I don't lend credibility due to the property layout per se. I lead more towards, I mean, it could be true. It could be. I'm not saying it's not. I'm just saying this, it seems a little bit out there for my personal tastes. Considering it seems like they put up wanted posters. People knew that they were looking for the cat. And I don't see someone just being like, oh, I'm going to trap the cat, and then I'm just going to go take it out to this wooded area and dump it out there, when one, there was a lot more opportunities to have the cat go to the multiple animal rescues that are in that area. Two, that's not a popular area to dump animals if you're going to get rid of them. And three, typically neighbors, unless you get a jerk, which I'm not sure, which could potentially be possible, I don't see that neighbors doing that. Especially if Emily had been there for a while and people knew her, they would be pretty supportive, because that's the type of community that's in that area. So that's kind of what I know of that situation. Now, I do have a little bit of a side theory. Now, just let me, now, I'm not saying that this is true. I'm not saying that this is what happened. But say we want to lend credence to this theory, that this is something that happened, that maybe we got to put some stock into the rumors and see what's going on. Now, I'm just going to say, if this did happen, if these were some sort of circumstances, what I could see happening, I'm saying if something like this did occur, what I could see happening was the guy, Emily and Amber, put the wanted posters out in the neighborhood. Maybe someone went door to door and say, hey, have you seen this cat? Did it get out? One of the guys maybe next door was like, hey, whoa, I can I can put out a trap and see if I get the cat. I mean, that's pretty common. Be like, yeah, I can help out my neighbor. I'll put out a trap. We'll see if we can get the cat. Maybe we'll find her, and then you guys can get her back and go. Right? Yep. And I believe the number on the posters at that time was, I think it was Amber's number, if I'm not mistaken, or if it was Emily's number. It was somebody's number who was on there. I'm not 100% certain whose it was. I believe it was Amber's. If it wasn't, I don't know. Or if it was a fake number or whatever it was. What I could see happening was, guy gets in the middle of the day. Emily is at work. Guy calls in the middle of the day. Hey, I got a cat in the trap. Do you think I could bring her over, or do you think I could do you want to see if this is your cat? He takes the cat over. Maybe Amber's at the door. Maybe Emily's at the door. I don't know who it is. You guys could take your pick, but someone was there. They saw the cat. The cat was in the trap. They said, nope, that's not her. And then the guy's like, oh, okay. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe it was bad decision making. I don't know why they wouldn't take it to the animal shelter, why they wouldn't take a cat to the animal shelter or one of the local places. But maybe he went, and then it's like, okay, that wasn't theirs, so we'll go and take the cat to this other place, or you'll take the cat and I'll just take her, and then we'll put her into the back and release her behind the hospital, whatever, we'll take her somewhere. I could see that happening. Like, that is something I could see happening. I'm not sure if it did. I'm not sure. I'm saying I don't really, and that's a giant if any of this story is true, that's something I could see happening. But other than that, it's a great theory, but I don't see it as I find it hard to believe that might be the truth to this whole situation. So that's what I'm feeling. I thought I would address this. If there's any other rumors or other things that you're like, we'd like your perspective as someone who has friends in the area who kind of know that area well, or just someone like some local interpretations of things, let me know. Because I really wanted to go through this because it's like it could be, but there's maybe some pieces missing. And again, if you're going to look at like the intimate details of the property layout, well, there's Google Earth for that, and probably some old Zillow listings. So with that, thank you all again so very much for watching. And again, feel free, like, comment, subscribe. If you want to hang out, if you have other things that you'd like me to discuss, leave them in the comments below. So thank you, and bye, y'all.